everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am transitioning into the next season, slowly but surely, since it still is a little warm here and we won't start experiencing true fall for several weeks. But as we make our way towards daylight savings on November 1st, shifting the season and of course harvesting everything that we had planned for our fall garden. And as the season progresses, I have plenty of chores, both indoors and outdoors, to get ready for the next season. So today I'm getting started with indoor chores and some decorating. Most of the pumpkins are not quite ready to harvest because I was a little behind on planting them in the summer. I did harvest two of the miniature, the Jack-O-Little white pumpkins, which I love. And then we actually had to harvest a very large portion of our pumpkins early this year because a gopher got to the plant. So we still have a lot of different varieties coming, fairy tale, jack-o'-lanterns, the mini ones. We planted several different varieties, so we should have a pretty large harvest this year, almost like a pumpkin patch, which will be fun. This is where we keep our butternut squash, our different squash varieties, and our pumpkins. It's an area in the barn that's sort of cold and dark, and we use it as a cellar. They have a great shelf life. As a matter of fact, last year they lasted through January, February. It was crazy. We were cooking with them all throughout the winter season, soups and all sorts of great recipes. So I brought a few in just to display them in the house until we cook with them. And then I'm gonna start by dusting and reaching areas that I don't get to as consistently with my cleaning routine. I try to get to each of these areas a few times each season, and I start from the top down. So obviously when I'm dusting, I'm gonna get some dust on the table and on the floors, so I'm gonna make sure to clean from the top down. We have a lot of trees on our property, and some of them can be quite dangerous if they are not trimmed regularly. So we usually do this in the summer, which prepares us with wood for the next year. So we do let the wood cure outside. We have quite a bit of it out there curing at the moment. I did bring some in to put near our fireplace. This wood is really clean, there's no bugs or spider webs, so I'm gonna bring it in and put it on display, but keep a close eye on it just to see if I have any trouble with insects, because I wouldn't want that. So just brought in all the clean logs that I could find. Again, just gonna keep a close eye on this, but I feel like this area is begging for wood and I had plenty to display. So I brought that in for now, and I'll keep you posted on how that goes. My mantle is sort of random in the summer. Sometimes I don't even have anything on there. This summer we just had a globe on there. We were looking at the globe a lot with Oliver. So I'm just cleaning up the fireplace mantle, and I'm gonna slowly start to bring in my fall decor, but I'm gonna keep it pretty simple this year. I love these flameless birch candles that I got at Hobby Lobby a few years ago. I also have some of the heirloom corn that our neighbors grew. They gave it to us to collect the seeds so we could grow it next year, but I'm also gonna display some, and then I'll save the seeds after the season is over. And I'm gonna display the baby pumpkins, of course, from the garden. We can use those as well for soup or however we decide to use them in the future. Then I'm gonna go ahead and vacuum the entire area that is the fireplace, which tends to get really dirty, dusty, and like I said, I'm going to keep a close eye on this area for spider webs and bugs because this area is in our living room and dining room, so I like to keep it as clean as possible. Usually at the end of the season, when we're no longer using the fireplace, we give it a really nice clean, and throughout the season we clean it out pretty regularly so it doesn't smell, and then I give it a clean right before we start using it again. Also, another thing that I like to do transitioning into new seasons is to clean all the windows. Sometimes there's a fly or 2 or 3 that gets stuck in the windows and some dust, and just making sure I touch on the entire house. Now, I don't always get it done in one day, so usually it's over the course of several days or weeks that I can get to all of these areas of the house, but just making sure to touch these areas a few times per season, and definitely going into the next season. We also replace the filters in our air vents every 6 months. And then I like to get up to the vents and vacuum any dust at the turn of the season as well. So these aren't things I do every time I clean my house. You know, the house definitely gets cluttered and messy between the animals and the kids. So it definitely doesn't always look perfect, as I say in all of my cleaning videos. But you know, we do our best to try to upkeep and take really good care of our house as best as we can, even though it doesn't stay that way 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So the next thing that I have to do is just a general clean of the living room. At this season of my life, I really don't have that many rugs in my home at the moment. It does get pretty dusty where we live. All of our neighbors are ranchers. They have horses. There's a lot of dust that gets kicked up, and it does end up in the house. So I'm always vacuuming, dusting, just trying to keep it as dust-free. And dust really does collect under rugs. So this is actually one of the only rugs. I have one in my music studio as well. That I have to clean under regularly, but this one gets cleaned very consistently because it just collects everything. I don't only move my couch at the turn of the season, but I always move my couch at the turn of the season. So whenever I'm doing a really deep cleanse, I do move the couch. I took a little break to FaceTime the boys with Byron as they are at my mom's house, which we're so thankful for her because we can get so much work done both on the farm and whatever work we need to catch up on when she watches them. There are always fun surprises to find behind the couch, from socks to toys to dog toys to little crummies. So I try to get back there often, but I don't know if you can relate to who knows what's under/behind the couch most of the time until we get to it. I get a lot of questions about this couch. This couch was a custom-made couch from just a local couch store near us, and I honestly can't even remember the name of the couch store because I think I had just given birth and my mind was super foggy. My husband and I had been looking into the cloud couch from Restoration Hardware, but we had seen a lot of mixed reviews, plus it was really expensive. So this one kind of had a similar look, but was not nearly as expensive. So we designed it to kind of be similar to what the cloud couch looked like, but not exactly, of course. And then I'm just putting really simple decorations on the coffee table, cleaning the coffee table, giving it a little oil just to kind of freshen it up. And the decorations probably won't last very long on that table, to be honest, because I'll have to move it for the kids eventually, but we have it there for the time being. So then I'm continuing with the windows. I'm going to wash the windows and clean them. I'm on the phone with my mother-in-law, so always getting a little chit-chatting in while I'm cleaning the house. But I have to do several passes on these windows because they get super, super dirty and it's very streaky. So yeah, it's gonna take me a little bit to get the windows nice and crystal clean. Every year, my display on the table is a little different, and I like to have fun with it. But yeah, I change it up for the holidays as well, but I always like to have a simple fall display on the table, and it will change depending on which flowers are blooming in the garden, and I can add or adjust it as the season goes on. But I actually brought some of the pumpkins and just displaying it on the table for now until we decide to cook it. So the goal is to clean all of the windows in the guest room, the kids' room, and finally I make it back to my bedroom, and then I will clean my studio last. But yeah, just basically doing the same thing in each room, so kind of boring to see it in every single room, but making it back to the bedroom, and also just bringing out candles from the previous year. I will not be buying any more fall candles for next year. I'm going to try to stick with some more natural options in the future, but I have candles from last year that I am going to burn until they're finished, and it does make the house smell absolutely amazing. This time of the year, I also like to do closet purging, toy box purging. Sometimes I'll list things on Poshmark that I no longer wear consistently. I usually do a donation as well, although from my understanding, the last few times I've tried to donate, currently you cannot donate any items because of COVID. So I do have a few items I'm posting to my Poshmark, and I only do this about once a year, just kind of go through my closet. If something's not fitting quite right or I don't feel like I'm using it, I will usually, just list it. I'm trying not to buy as many clothes these days in general, and if I do, I try to stick with more, vintage or pre-loved items, because I often end up loving those and wearing those the most anyway, and just keeping the items that I really love in my closet and donating or selling the rest. So I like to do that around this time of the year. And if you want me to do a part 2 of this, I definitely have a lot of different things I can get to in each individual room. I have a lot of organizing I can do. So if you want to see more organizing videos in preparation for the coming season, I will be transitioning into more fall videos as it starts to feel appropriate and aligned with my, what's really happening in my life. And so yeah, I'm excited for the soups and the teas and all the fun routines to come in the coming months. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you very soon in the next one. Bye.